The good thing about the market is that it goes up and it goes down. Doesn't matter. I need to get this thing working. That thing is in a downtrend. Looks like this one is doing a little temporary breather from being in a downtrend. That thing is still bearish. All right, let's see. Okay, where was I? Okay, so that one's coming down. That sucker's coming down too. It's on a long decline. Okay. Okay. Okay, that came back. Now that is trading at range. Get a look at this from this perspective, right? So essentially what that's telling me is that it's going to be going down as it did here, somewhere here. Now that's coming down. Okay, so this thing, this thing was down here. Now it's coming back up. And here. Oh, interesting. Oh, looky there. Oh, I just came back. Huh. Huh. Looky there. Is that a reversal? See if I can get to. Okay, so let's see if I can get to 0.5%. Okay. 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 Okay, the idea is to make let's see if I can make 0.5%. All right. Let's see if I can make 0.5%. Okay, 23 minutes into the trading. So far I made what, 85 cents? $2. So I get about 60 bucks. So I need 58 more bucks. Where am I gonna get 58 more bucks? Let's see. It starts coming down here. So NQ down, AU down, and EU is up. Okay, is this trying to break out? Is AU trying to break out? Oh, look at that. That's going down. Take a look. Yeah, that's been going up. All right. Okay, so that's just right there where that resistance is. Can't trade yet. Uh, that's going down. Not sure what the deal is here. Okay. Seems to be in a trading range. Seems to be in a trading range. Hasn't broken out yet. If it's going to break out without falling through, it's got to be pushing up here. All right. It's currently 9:30, 2.5 hours prior to European market open. Um, let's see if that leads me anywhere. Okay. NQ. NQ is bouncing around. Same area. Right. Right. Seems to be going down. See, that's what I'm talking about. That thing's popping. That's 53. Seems to be range bound. $5. Well, the thing is, if it's not in alignment with where I think it's going immediately, then I need to exit the trade. There's no point in holding on to something where it's not immediately working. See, it looked like it was a breakout, but it's not. See what it does. So I did this, popped up here. What's that gonna do? What's it gonna do? So I look at that. It's currently almost 10 o'clock, 9:47. Looks like this, it wants to remain in the zone. It looks similar to this. Maybe it's gonna drop. Maybe it'll do that. How do I know that this is not gonna drop? How do I know that? And it's gonna keep continuing going up. How do I know this? If I know that, then I can put some size on. If I know that, if I have that information, how do I know? How do I know that? How do I know that? Hey, almost 10 o'clock. It looks like it's trading. It's just range bound. Just range bound, see? Same with here. It's trading in range. So if this thing somehow gets up to here, it'd be a totally different scenario, right? Because it's going to be above here, and so it's going to go back up. But until then, this is questionable. Mm-hmm. Definitely turned out to be questionable. See that? Yep. So it looks like it's up and down right here. It's range. It's range bound right there. It's a mini range bound situation. It's trading in a range here. That's what's going on. Looks like it's headed down. Okay, so that thing is coming down. Can't hold on to that. Lost another $2. So the range is very tight. That's why that's $4. Lost $4 right there. The range is very, very tight. That's very tight. Range is very tight. Yep. Is that what's happening? it seems to be range bound. It's not breaking out either way. It's not breaking out either way. It's range bound. Very, very tight range bound situation. Very, very tight range bound. Yeah. Yep. Very, very tight range bound. Very, very tight. So I lost another $2. See, this tells you it's not moving. It's range bound. It's see, we lost $6 already. Right there. When it's moving like that, you can't size. You really can't trade it. You really can't trade this one. It behaves this way. See, it's in a very, very tight trading range. See that? So you lost $6 already, plus $4. Oh, this thing always does this. It does this. It does that quite often. Wow. That sucker does that all the time. Does that all the time. No breakouts anywhere. It's in a range. Why did I buy this? Just doesn't make any. I don't know. That's a mystery to me. I shouldn't have bought that. That's a waste of $4. So that's six. Six. That's $12. Little books would be nice. It's so easy to lose $2, but it's so difficult to make $2. It's so difficult to make $2. So popped up, came back down. $2.18, so that's care of that. So $4 more somewhere. Why won't we get that? But we'll set it up there. We'll set it up there. Okay. Next time, I may just have to use a 5K. I may just have to use a 5K instead of using the 10K. It's been a waste. I'm trying to prove it out, right? 30 minutes. Let's see if I can make 0.5%, can we? Let's get to 350, all right? Let's see how long it takes. Let's see how long it takes to make 0.5%. Got it? Let's make 0.5%. Easy, right? 0.5%. All right, so price, okay, so the price is here. And if I flipped it around, what I'm looking for is a reaction from this area right there. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a reaction from this area. Okay, so it's either going to do this or it's going to do this. One or the other. That's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna trade it accordingly. Okay. So here it looks like it essentially uh, broke the trend. Here it looks like right there like that. So possibly I'm thinking it might do this, right? Yeah, look at that. So this is what happens when I'm entering into a trade too early. See, I get in early here. Why I did that? Because I'm jumping the gun. That's the only reason. I jumped the gun, and that's where I am right there. Instead of I shouldn't have added this. I shouldn't have added that. I should not have added this because I'm attempting to add to something, projecting what's going to happen in the future. That's not what I want. That's that's like predicting instead of reacting. I have to react, not like predict. That's the difference. Okay. Predicting means that okay, I'm gonna get in here. Predicting is gonna go past it and then come back up. Reacting is I see what's going on and then reacting to it. So if I'm reacting to something, the drawdown will be smaller because I know precisely what the drawdown is going to be. Let's see how long it takes, but I want to make about 0.5%. So this is just it really, if I'm looking to go long, I can't go long here because it's anything down here is just bearish. This price has to be above here before I can consider it as a like a long situation. I want to see how long it's going to take me. Okay, so it's hour and a half. See, the video is low quality, so I should be able to. It's a low quality. I recorded it in a very low quality. I recorded it at a very low quality. Oh yeah, that'll work. Right? Okay. Once I get some payouts, that will become more sophisticated. Okay. If I get profitable, if I get profitable, that's the operative right there. See, here's the thing. It dropped here, bounced up, came back. It could easily fall right through. That thing could fall right through, right there. I mean, it could just go right through, just like that. This one was here once before, so maybe not. Might not. I want to be in a situation where I'm like scaling in, which allows me to make big gains and lose. Okay. Okay, so it's approaching where that resistance is. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Okay. So this is NQ, and possibly NQ could just drop. Apparently tomorrow. Okay, the next day. Okay, in about an hour, it's going to be Tuesday. But on Wednesday, there's going to be FOMC. So I wonder what the best way to trade this is. Okay, so I'm looking at here. I'm looking at this, and possibly it's going to bounce right back up. Okay, so oil's down, silver is down, gold is down. Here I am. I'm trying to make a living out of this. I'm trying to make a living from this. Okay, see that was expected. I thought he would do that. See, right there. That's what I thought he was going to do. Remember, most of the time, it's 80% of the time it remains in a range. 20% of the time it breaks. It's a breakout. What I'm looking for is to break this. That make it easier for me to go long. All right, that's what I'm trying to do. Go long. Okay, what I want to do is get to 350. Okay, get to 350. If I need to make 5 trades, that makes $10. That's fine too. Okay, but what I'm need to do is make a 0.5% based on sound setups. Okay, so I can't go long here, right? That's not a I can't use long here because that's resistance, and what's going to happen is bumps up and then drop right back down. Okay, that's a high probability right there. Okay, just like what this is doing right there. You see that? Okay, that's what's happening. See this one? Yeah, it's hard to control the self. The urgency to get in while it's dropping is so overpowering. The need to get into the trade. All right, well, okay, that's heavy. That's big. That looks like it's going to punch right through here. Oh yeah, that was heavy. That was a heavy blow. Yeah, see, you're paying for it. It's so hard because you're not using your setups, and so you just enter into the trade because you have this urgency to put something on. That's why it does that. Okay, you're not following you're not following your proper setup entry and things like that. You're not. Okay, so currently it's about 10:51, an hour and 10 minutes to go, and I haven't made a single trade yet. So far, everything's been going down. So, well, actually, I did make a couple of trades right there. Uh, okay, so what am I gonna do? How am I gonna trade this? Okay, this is NQ. If I'm going to trade it, what am I looking to do? I could trade this. Okay. Uh, am I trading this range situation? Right? Am I trading the range situation? just like that, or is that support strong enough? No, it's not. Look at that, it broke through. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. See, one bad trade and you just ruin the whole thing. Just that's the problem. That's the problem with a bad trade. It just ruins the whole thing. And you can't get out either because you're stuck with it, right? You've already lost, and so you're so psychologically you're holding on to it. Currently, it's what's that? It's like hour and 47 minutes into it. See now it's like down $12. Oh yeah, I thought it wouldn't hold it. The sucker's going down. Oh yeah, probably that's gonna happen to here too. I'll probably get out when it hits like minus 20, $25. Yeah, almost 11 o'clock. See, look at that. Yeah, it's so stupid. That's not trading. You're just giving it away. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. The price was doing this, and you're anticipated that it's gonna go up. Like when you lose like $1 million, that's ah, it just doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. I'm doing things that don't make any sense at all. So the going with the trend means whatever the trend is, go with it. Okay, that's what it means. Go with whatever the trend is. Don't go against it. Okay, that's what it means. Going with the trend means go with the trend. Don't go against the trend. Okay, that's what it means. So here, I would not be looking to go long. I would be looking to short here because that's the trend. See, that's the trend. Okay, same here. I'd be looking to short, not go long, unless it has a definitive change in the trend. Otherwise, I'm just like in a trade that's going down and saying I'm just hoping that it's going to change direction. That's up to the market. It's not up to you. It's up. But you have a choice. You can get in when you see that the market is turning, right? Wow, everything is red. Everything is red. I just realized something. Everything is red. Wow. Including my P&L is red. and I'm just giving it away. Why would I want to give it away? Why? Why would I want to give it away? That's wow. Doesn't make any sense at all. Makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense, Key. Look at this. Because it went up, you think that it's going to come back up. That's what. Let's get out of trade. Let's get out of trade. You lost. Look at that. My God, you had to wait until it's here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Instead of making a 0.5%, you already lost 20 bucks. You lost a 0.25% already. Oh boy. Ah, see, why did I get in here? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I get into a trade here? Why? And then why would I add here? It just doesn't make any sense at all. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Just gave it away. Just gave that away. Look at that. Just gave away 14 bucks. You waited until it's 14 bucks, not earlier. Because you're thinking, your brain is not catching on. You're not able to, you don't, you're, see, it has everything to do with recognition and being able to process what's going on and then making the decision. Right now, what you're doing is you're just taking action and then trying to make sense of it. That's not right. You have to make, you have, so because you feel the urgency to get into the trade. All right. As soon as you get out, it pops up a little bit. See that? Ah, just doesn't make any sense. If you keep trading like this, you're gonna always lose. You're always gonna lose. Unless you change, you're always going to lose. See, you should see it right there. You shouldn't have entered into this trade, especially when it's coming down. You need some validity. You need a higher high to get into it. There was no higher high here. Uh-uh. That's why you're holding off here. There's no higher high here. The way it's going, it looks like it's gonna just drop off the face of the earth. See, I think I'm too early. I need to make sure it forms before I enter into a trade. I'm not allowing the formation. See, before it established a downtrend, you entered into trade. Now you're losing. That's what's happening. See, this is an impulsive kickback, pullback here. See, now you're losing again. You're definitely, see, you're always losing. Hmm. Yeah, see that? You have to have it established right there. See, it hits support. That's why it's popping back up. That's why you're losing. You need to make sure it breaches before you take action on it. That's a response of the support right there. One thing you're doing is you're just using small size, which is good. Yeah, see, you're going to lose again. You have to make sure you see it before you enter into it. It's just going the other direction. I'm not sure what's going on. See, right there. Just lost $2 already. See, when you're mentally handicapped, it's difficult to get this thing going. It's very, very difficult. When you're mentally disturbed, it's a big challenge. It's a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge. So you've entered into this incorrectly. First of all, you don't even know how to recognize what's going on. You're waiting for this thing to hit $5 before you exit too. I know you. I know you. I know what you're doing. The only thing I can do is laugh at it. But if that thing breaks, I'll tell you what, it's going to be heavy. If that thing starts to break, though, it's going to be a doozy. If that thing breaks, wow, see that? That is support. It bounced right off. It bounced. Interesting. It bounced despite, even though it's this. It bounced off here, did that. And all I'm trying to do is make a couple bucks. Bring it to 90. At least you got out of this trade. Good. Look at that, see? That is outrageous. That was outrageous, Key. It's currently 2 hours. I haven't made a trade yet. See, when you're, I don't know what to say. That's why you gotta wait. You gotta wait until it's past here. That's why you're losing. See, that's why you're losing. So what should you be doing? You should exit the trade. It's wrong. So far, look at that. It just kept losing. See, something's gonna happen. Okay, so you really haven't really uh, thought about this area. That's why you really haven't really discussed this. That's why you're having problems with it. Okay, that's why you're having problems. You haven't really thought about what to do in this area. That's why you're having so much trouble. Okay, trying to figure out what to do. 'Cause it's obvious, right? You haven't put yourself in this situation multiple times to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. That's why you're having problems, right? It might turn out that you're correct. Possibly. See, you might be correct. In fact, I'm probably correct, but it's behaving oddly, right? This is gold. This is NQ. See, look at that. And I actually bought it right down here, and then it popped right back up. That's why. I got two. You just keep losing. See, it's still hovering around here. That support area. That's support right there. Oh yeah. See how it behaves? Interesting. See, it's a good thing you got out of that trade. See how it's behaving right there? So what am I trying to do? I'm waiting for something to happen. That's what's happening. And I'm putting so much energy into something as minuscule as this. Oh, well. Wow. Look at that. It just started to just, and I jumped into it. His mind is just completely off. Just completely off. Just completely off. I'm currently down about 70 bucks now. No, 80 bucks. I'm down 80 bucks today. Yep, I'm 80. I'm down 80 bucks. Okay. See? It's so stupid. Look at that. If I had held on to that, that's that's what it means by predicting versus reacting. This is a prime example of what. See, okay. Now I got it. See, I've been predicting all along. You don't want to be predicting. You want to be reacting. You want to react. Okay. There's no debate. There's no debate about reacting and predicting. Predicting and reacting are totally different things. Okay. If you want to predict, okay, go ask a fortune teller. Right? Because it'll take all your money. You want to react. You want to react. You want to see it, then react. Okay. Predict. Oh, okay. Now I got it. So the difference between reacting and predicting is this. Okay. Uh, Reacting is I see it, then I react. But predicting is I'm thinking it's going to behave this way, and then I predict and then enter into it, which means that it leaves all manner of possibilities, including mistakes, okay, to occur. Okay, that's what it means. That's the difference between reacting and uh, predicting. Okay, that's the difference. I didn't know that. I'm about to make a trade here, but I want to make sure I'm correct. Okay. See, look at this. That exiting this trade was a big trade. Holding on to this, that was so when I'm holding on to a loser, it's predicting, not reacting. Oh my God. I want to react, not predict. Okay, there's no debate. Okay, today is Monday. It is 11:16 p.m. It is July 27th. It is 2026. It has been six, almost 6 long years. Within me, within my mind, see, I'm watching this YouTube video about this police officer who pulled over this felon, okay? And so a convicted felon cannot carry firearms, okay? All right? Because if there's a probation, the person immediately goes back to prison and doesn't come out, okay? Because it's a violation of probation. So uh, what happened was this police officer pulled over this guy, okay? In the background work, he had a felony, and so hidden within him was a firearm, okay? Because he knew, he knew that because he would never go back to prison. Okay, he knew, and so he acquired this firearm. Okay, for that specific instance. Okay, and so there's this guy. His name is Sergeant Curtis, and he's walking through what's happening. And so when the police officer pulled him over, uh, and then and then she said, "Get out of the car." Now he knew exactly because what he was going to do. Okay, he was on a phone with somebody. Okay, and he said goodbye. Right, that's what he said. Right, and so the Sergeant Curtis mentioned that. Okay, there's a reason why he said that. Okay, because I didn't. I would probably have never figured this out. I would have probably never figured this out. Okay, but I'm in a very similar situation because it's a very very serious business being convicted of a felony. It's even more serious when you're innocent like I am, okay? Falsely convicted, okay? It's even because it eats away at you. It's like the anger and the resentment just eats away at me, right? And so add to that, there's this conviction, right? So this guy's sitting there, and he knows exactly what he's going to do, and he knew it when he when he acquired the firearm too. So he's in the car. So they're trying to drag him out by tasering him and stuff like that, and then finally he pulls out the firearm and kills one of the police officers and wounds the other one, right? Because that was his intent, because he was not going back. Okay, but he's now going to back. He's going back because that's apparently what happens, there's a misdemeanor and a felony and murder. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, it graduates that way. And so that's how ended up in that situation. Okay, so then I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking to myself, when a police officer says get out of the car, the person is thinking, knows everything that has been planned out in his mind, and it's been triggered. Okay, it is a trigger word that causes a minor interaction into a very serious interaction, right? A minor interaction to a very serious interaction. That's how it graduates into. When a certain thing is requested, it no longer becomes a citation, but uh, it becomes a life changing event. Okay, I can see that because it means incarceration, a permanent. Why am I mentioning this? Okay, so I'm mentioning this because there's something called a reacting to, okay, and predicting. That's trading language, okay? There's a thing called it's a trading language, okay? So what happens is so what happens is this, okay? So when somebody is predicting, okay? there's a clear difference between predicting and reacting. Okay, there's a difference between predicting and reacting. Okay, and so I saw this. Okay, so AU was right where the support is, but I prematurely shorted it. Okay, and sure enough, right when it hit the support area, it bounced right up, and I was in the red. Okay, what I was doing is predicting. Okay, what I was doing is I was predicting instead of reacting. Okay, I saw I saw the support area, and then I predicted what's going to happen, which was incorrect because what I needed to do was to allow the price to show me what it is that it did, which is reacting. Okay, predicting is anticipating what's going to happen and then taking action. That's predicting. Okay, and so when I'm holding on to a loser that's going down, okay, that's predicting. That's not reacting. Okay, reacting means when the price is going down, I better exit the trade because I don't know how far it's going to go. That's reacting. Predicting is holding on to a loser and then adding to a loser. Okay, because I'm predicting that it's somehow somewhere it's going to reverse and then eventually go in my direction. That's predicting. So there's a huge debate. I never had any debates, but I had a debate with myself. I was trying to figure out what are they talking about. So now I do understand what. So there is people who. So predicting predicting and reacting are totally different things, and they're directly applicable in trading. Okay, because when I see something that happens, then I can react to it. But when something hasn't happened, then I can only predict. Okay, so like not get exiting the trade when the trade is going against me. That's predicting. Okay, it's not reacting. When the price is moving against me, I need to exit the trade. I'm wrong. Okay, so what I'm saying to myself is that I'm predicting sometime later on down the road I'm going to be correct. Okay, that's predicting. When I'm reacting, I look at what's happening and I exit the trade. That's reacting. Okay, that's the difference between reacting and predicting. Okay, I'm not in the business of predicting. I'm in the business of reacting. I prepare what's going to happen so I can see it, and then when I see it, I want to react to it, not predict it. Okay, that's why I've been losing all this money. Prime example. I was on EU. Okay, it was doing this. I'm predicting, hey, it's going to go back up sometime. So I entered this trade, and then all of a sudden it just kept moving away. Right? I'm wrong. That's the difference between predicting and reacting. I want to react, not predict. I'm not in the business of I'm not in the business of predicting, okay? I'm in the business of reacting. Let's see if I get $2 on this trade. Two. Let me see the two. Let me see the two. Show me the two. Let me react. Show me the two. Two. There you go. I got it. Okay. There you go. That takes care of that. Whew, jeez. Now I can take care of the other ones. Boy, everything is going down. I mean, everything is on fire sale. Wow. Okay, 2 hours and 23 minutes, and I haven't made a serious trade yet. Okay, so EU is going down, even UC is going down, UJ is going down. Everything is red. I mean, everything is red. AU is holding its pattern here. It's been holding for about 30 minutes, but NQ has been dropping. Oh, interesting. Huh. Interesting. Interesting indeed. There was a spike there, but it's coming back down. See, I could be right. If I took a trade to the short on the NQ right now, it's still valid. The trade is still valid. Oh, trade is definitely still valid. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, even this thing is falling apart. Boy, everything is falling apart. Whoa. Now here we go. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Wow, I could have just held it. I could have just held that. See, that's called reacting. Right there, man. That's called reacting. That is called reacting. Oh my God, I could have just held the freaking thing right there. See that? Wow. That's called reacting. It was here, I started it, and then that's where it went. Ah. Okay, so I just need, I'm trying to get to 350, so I need 28 more. I'll still be shy of 360, but uh, at least I'm obtaining what I want to achieve. Okay, see, I'm achieving it. See that? Wow, look at that. That right there was awesome. One, two, how many? How many was that? One, two, three, four, five, six. Whoa, max. That's called max. That's called maxing it out, baby. That's called maxing it out. Wow. That's called maxing it, man. Maxing it. That's called max. You know, there's a movie called Mad Max. Now I see what it means to be Mad Max. Okay, so I still have about 680 bucks to just breaking even. All right. If everything is red, just short, right? That's the idea. Oh my God, look. If I had kept that, that would have been about 400 bucks right there. See, look. That was approximately 0.6, right? Oh my God. All right. So from here, I started it. See, that would have been 200. That's 2% right there. Just right there is 2%. From here to here, 2%. Oh my God, look at that. Everything is red. Oh, Jesus. Look at that. Why is everything so red? Oh, the whole market is just in a tailspin. The market is in a tailspin. You'd be a fool to go long right now. Okay, so I started out at 308, so I essentially made about 14 bucks. But this is generally how I do it. That's how it's done, okay? This is how it's done, okay? This is how trading is done, okay? This is exactly what I need to be doing. This is it. This is trading right there. You see what I just did? That's my setup right there. That's my setup. Okay, that's my setup right there. That's one of my setups. That's called a breakout. But it's on the it's on the selling side. Oh my God, look at that. That would have been about 600 bucks right there. Okay, so this I waited like over 2 hours to make that trade, but that's essentially it. And all I have to do is repeat that over and over and over and over again, and that's it. Awesome.